This is Redbeard Carpentry, and this is Kinetic Customs BX1 Reaper. So today we're going to have a little look at the Reaper. This is an absolutely beautiful handcrafted utility knife made by Kinetic Customs here in the UK. So before we get too far ahead, I'd just like to point out this was sent to me by Kinetic Customs. However, I was about to buy it. So the knife is available in two variants, the BX1, which I've got here, or the BX3. And the difference is the BX1 only has one blade, the one blade that's in it ready to use. The BX3 has an additional storage spot for two extra blades. So there's the one in and the two in the storage, which is three blades, the BX3. Now the reason I've gone for the BX1 over the BX3 is that the BX1 is slightly slimmer. With the additional storage in the side, it bulks the knife out just a touch, not a massive amount, but just a little bit. And the way I carry my knife on my tool belt, that little bit of extra bulk on the knife would actually make a difference. Because it's on the outside, it runs the risk of catching things and snagging on stuff when I'm walking around site and doing my job. So the BX1 is absolutely fine for me, and I do actually keep a little packet of blades in my pouches anyway, so not having the blade storage on board isn't really an issue for me. Now these knives currently are only available on Kinetic Customs website. Super easy website to navigate. When you get on the website, you've got different colour options available. There's about 5 different colour options you can pick. Knowing Kinetic Customs, in the coming weeks, months, they will add more. Just like they have done with the hammers, they're constantly adding new colours, new variants. You can also pick between the BX1 or the BX3, and as a little added bonus, you can also add a free personalisation. Now that's up to 20 characters long, which for most people, they're going to put the name or the business name, and if you can't fit it in 20 characters, you might want to look at changing your business name. 20 characters is plenty. I haven't got anything on mine because they sent it out for me for free, but I've got hammer and I've got Redbeard Carpentry Co. engraved on mine. Absolutely fine, not a problem, beautifully done. And that, to me, is a lovely little touch. Lovely little touch that you can just put a bit of personalisation onto it. So, let's dive in. So let's have a look at the BX1. Obviously I've got it in red here with the brass and the silver. You can see the quality of the finish here on the knurling and on the tool in general. So on the side there's going to be the brass release button. This is how you get the knife in or out. Until you press that down, the knife's locked, closed, or locked open. Now you can see the machine marks there, and that, I don't know a great deal about machining, but I know that they've had to program in the pathways to their machines, their CNC machines, to get that effect on the knife, and it is absolutely stunning. So to release the blade, you have to press this tiny little brass button there. That's going to release the blade and then also lock it back in place. You might notice as well, the blade on the BX1 protrudes just ever so slightly further than most other utility knives. So we're going to take a look at my old Stanley knife. Now this is a good few years old and it's taken a bit of a battering, but there's a couple of key differences between this knife, which was quote unquote a high-end knife, and the BX1. So first of all, this is a line locker knife. You see the mechanism there, and the biggest thing for me with this knife, having the blade release on the top like this on the wheel, creates a bit of a problem for me. So when I'm putting a bit of force, a bit of pressure on the knife when I'm cutting, it quite often pushes that forward and releases the blade, and there has been occasions where the blade has come out mid cut. You can also see it's a bit rattly, a bit worn, and it hasn't been much better than this since I actually bought it. So it's always been a bit loose and a bit rattly. And another thing that always happens is the pocket clip comes loose. It just works loose and you have to tighten those bolts up on a regular basis. So what I think we should do, get rid. Stick to the BX1. This thing is an absolutely beautiful knife and very, very well crafted, very well put together. Oh, and I almost forgot, the pocket clip. Nice, small, neat, lightweight, but it's absolutely phenomenal. I've had this knife 2 weeks now, 3 weeks. Like I say, I have it clipped on the outside of my pouch, on that side. Not once has it come loose, not once have I knocked it off. It's really safe and secure on there. So even though it's quite dainty, quite delicate, it does an absolutely amazing job at keeping it in place. So as you can see, this knife is head and shoulders above any other knife on the market, I think, personally. It's so beautifully crafted and absolutely every aspect of the knife has been really well thought out and really well executed. So I'd like to finish this off with 2 key questions. Number 1, would I buy it? Well, you've probably gathered, yes, I would buy it, definitely. And number 2, is it value for money? If you're comparing it against other utility knives on the market, then yes, it's on the pricey side. At £60, it's quite a lot of money for a knife. However, if you're in the trade and you're after a really high quality knife that you can rely on day in, day out, then I do think it's value for money. My other Stanley knife cost around £30, and you can see the quality in that knife after a few years of using it compared to the quality of this. It's a night and day difference. So for an extra £30, it's a no-brainer to me. So that's it. That was Kinetic Customs BX1 Reaper. Thank you for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, leave a comment, say hello, and subscribe. In the coming weeks and months, I'm going to be doing more and more of this style of video, more reviews, more product highlights. On the 27th, we're heading down to the installer show for a day, so we're hopefully going to get lots of cool footage there, loads of new tools, get hands-on with some bits and pieces, and it's going to be a bit more of like a vlog, a bit laid-back, relaxed style. So yeah, if this kind of stuff interests you, subscribe. There's more of it to come, there's loads more of it to come. Thank you very much, and I'll see you again next time. Carpentry, this BX. This is Red Big